Hi, I'm Richard Ward, Chairman of 1OC's Volunteerism Advisory Council, a member of the Board of Directors. Thank you for joining us today for this very special virtual 9/11 Day of Service and Remembrance closing ceremony on the International Day of Peace. This summer, in honor of the 19th anniversary and the lives impacted by the events of September 11th, 2001, volunteers took part in a 6-week campaign that focused on remembrance through service. In August and September, 1OC sponsored countywide service projects that provided volunteer project toolkits that not only engaged volunteers of all ages, but also allowed participants to take part in virtual and physical projects that supported our nonprofits on the front lines of the COVID-19 battle, honoring and benefiting all of our American heroes. Individuals, families, groups, and companies participated in this national initiative in collaboration with the Hands-On Network. I would like to thank our 9/11 Day service media sponsors, Cox and the Orange County Register, for helping us promote an initiative, and also ESI Video for producing PSA ads pro bono for 1OC. Today is the culmination of many hours of volunteer efforts in our community, and we are very grateful to each and every volunteer who gave their time and talent in support of our nonprofits and their missions. Now it is my honor to introduce David Payne, President and co-founder of 9/11 Day, the September 11th National Day of Service and Remembrance, to speak about the history and purpose of this important day.
Thank you, Richard. And thank you to 1OC, which is an extraordinary organization, and of course to all the amazing volunteers that have joined together in service and remembrance of 9/11 Day. You know, although I was born and raised in New York City and worked within just a few blocks of the World Trade Center tower, my family and I now live in Orange County. I moved to Newport Beach in 1986, about 15 years before the September 11th attacks. So this is my hometown today, and I'm so proud of how dedicated this community is to serving others in need and supporting the 9/11 Day observance. As you might imagine, 9/11 was a moment that changed my life forever. Now, I didn't lose a loved one, but like so many Americans, I felt as if I did. My co-founder, Jay Winnick, was not so lucky. He lost his brother Glenn in the collapse of the World Trade Center South Tower. Glenn was an attorney who worked just a few blocks away, but he was also a volunteer firefighter and a rescue EMT. And like a lot of heroes, you know, when 9/11 happened, he came into the city, he borrowed a medic kit, stethoscope and gloves, and raced into the South Tower and was in the process of getting people out of there, saving many people's lives when the South Tower came down upon him, and his remains were found about 6 months later with the borrowed medic kit still by his side. And for Jay, of course, his inspiration was to try to find a way to pay tribute to his lost brother. And for me, my inspiration was to try to find a way to right that wrong, because I have to tell you, it was such a devastating moment that it just seemed as if the universe got knocked out of balance. And that degree of evil required that we sort of balance it out with an equal degree of something good. And what really inspired me was the way the country responded in the immediate aftermath of the attacks. This incredible spirit of unity that emerged, where we stopped worrying about our differences for a while. We weren't red states or blue states. We weren't black or white. We weren't Christians or Jews or Hindus or Muslims. We were just Americans. And for a very brief moment, maybe it was only for a month or so, we just looked at each other like human beings. And when Jay and I got together with about 40 other 9/11 leaders, we decided that that was the legacy that we wanted to pass on to future generations. We did not want the terrorists to win. We didn't want them to forever define, for generations to come, how our nation was going to remember 9/11. Instead, we wanted to take back the day and turn it into this National Day of Service. And it took quite a while, about 7 years, working in Congress, but ultimately out of the Serve America Act in 2009, September 11th was designated as a National Day of Service and Remembrance under federal law. And that really changed a lot of things for us, and changed many organizations like yours and many of your but you know, many of the people you may know who have come to see 9/11 now, not just as a day where we remember those that were killed, but also a day where we take a moment to serve, where we make a difference, where we help people in need. And so I have to tell you how excited I am about what my own hometown here is doing in Orange County, because, you know, you're 3,000 miles away from New York, and yet you've embraced the 9/11 Day of Service just as much as New York Cares has, or any other 9/11 organization or hands-on affiliate in the East Coast. So there is something special about the fact that being so far away that you've embraced it as you have. So what I'd like to do is take a moment to just thank all of you for what you're doing. I'm just so proud to be part of this community. And I want to again thank 10C and all the great sponsors that have been involved in making this day as significant and as important and meaningful as it was, especially this year. So thank you again.
Thank you, David. It's such a pleasure to have you with us today. Great seeing you. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Patty Larson, and I have the privilege of serving on the 10C Volunteerism Council alongside good friend Richard Ward and about 15 other professionals, really heart-centered professionals. So proud to be a part of that group. It's so nice to see you here virtually today and to be connected through technology, but more importantly, to be connected with you all through volunteerism and our passion for serving. As a part of the 9/11 Day of Service campaign this year, 10C, along with presenting sponsor Capital Group and the Community Cup Task Force, they coordinated the OC Community Cup Charity Challenge. This unique community service competition encouraged companies and teams to work together with a local nonprofit and conduct a service project for that nonprofit. Some were done virtually and some were done in person. Really pleased to share with you, we had 30 Orange County companies that participated, forming a total of 39 teams and partnering with 37 nonprofit organizations. Teams not only planned and implemented outstanding community service projects, but they also made substantial cash and in-kind donations to their charity partners to support each nonprofit's mission. While each project has incredible merit, and every one of you is worthy of praise and recognition, but the Charity Challenge is a friendly competition. And because of that, we had 9 judges that worked together with it and voted on each nonprofit's work, each team's work, and really looked at 7 different criteria. After careful consideration, the panel arrived at top 5 teams. And today we're going to share them with you. The winning teams will receive an award. And team members will receive a lovely certificate. But most exciting is the charity partner will receive $1,000 in prize money. It is my pleasure to now introduce Kevin Mcarthur, Senior Emergency Management Program Coordinator at Orange County Sheriff's Department. He's going to share with you the first winning team.
Good morning, everyone. On behalf of the Orange County Sheriff's Department and all first responders in Orange County, I want to take a moment to thank everyone who participated in the 9/11 Day of Service and the Charity Challenge, serving our community during a time of such high need. Thank you to 10C for serving as the county's emergency volunteer center and for facilitating the placement of thousands of essential volunteers and nonprofits at the forefront of providing COVID-19 related hardship and relief, mostly in the fields of food security and emergency housing. It is my great pleasure to announce the first winning team in the category of Most Overall Impact Project. The winning team is Team Attis. I now call on Team Captain Corey Vanam to share a few words about their project.
Is Corey on? I'm here. Charles is on too. Charles, if you want to.
Corey, I think you should start.
No, go ahead.
Oh, come on. What do we win for?
So,
Team Attis.
Yeah, so the Love Drop is something that started, it actually started back in April, and it was something where we saw a need with all the frontline workers, whether it was at the hospitals, fire departments, police departments, everybody was out in front, kind of right there with everything going on with the pandemic. And we thought, what a great time to recognize them and bring them food. So we would bring Wahoo's, Yogurtland, hand sanitizer, just anything that they kind of needed, and would drop it off to them. And they were just so incredibly grateful that, they're on the front lines. And it was just a way for us to give back to all of those people during that time.
Thank you, Corey. It's also really the dream of Wing Lamb, who was able to keep 4 more of his restaurants going, at the same time partner with us to bring food to hospitals, to police, to fire. And we were sort of stuck in the fog of, what do we do next? I don't know what to do. Our habitat builds were stalled, and all of a sudden Wing says, hey, and when Wing says, hey, I get nervous, next thing you know, I'm hefting up to LA, we're going to the Dream Center, we're going to hospitals, and we have these experiences where police captains come with tears in their eyes saying, thank you, that's the first act of kindness we've had in 2 months. And or a hospital doctor who walks out of this COVID floor where they talk about people expiring and then get turned around and refreshed after working a double with a warm burrito and that little bottle of Cholula that Wing promised would make him feel better. So for us, this was just a moment to show up and say thank you and get involved. And when Corey and I went, I watched the same thing happen to Corey that went to me. We were kind of, we were isolated for a moment, and then we went out and we were participating with those folks that keep us safe. So thank you so much, Corey. I'm sorry that I put you on the spot there, but Corey is the one that makes it happen. I like to talk about it, but these doers, there's so many doers here. And like she said, from Monster, Yogurtland, Hint, and Wahoo's, and it's so awesome to be around people that are reinventing as they're going. It's been an inspiration to our entire company. So thank you so much for recognizing what we're doing.
Yes, thank you.
Congratulations again. It's now my pleasure to call on Jamie Wheeler, Vice President of Global Clinical Affairs at Edwards Life Sciences, to announce the next winner.
Hi, everyone. It is my pleasure to be here today to announce one of the team winners and represent Edwards Life Sciences, who is a Nurturing Spirit sponsor of the Community Cup Charity Challenge. Edwards is passionate about employee community engagement and corporate social responsibility, and this is another great way for our employees to connect with our OC community. I will now announce the winning team in Category 2, Best Virtual Project, and the winning team is Capital Cares HO.
Hi, this is Michelle Sullivan from Capital Group. So excited. Thank you all so much. Wanted to first off thank ONEOC for this opportunity to participate in this challenge. We're so excited. We have our partners, Human Options, here today as well. We're very grateful to have partnered with them on this really special event. This was special for us because it was our very first virtual community action event, and so it gave Capital Group an opportunity to give back during these unprecedented times in a really meaningful way, virtually. So we partnered with Human Options, which, for those of you who aren't familiar, is an organization that advocates and supports families affected directly by domestic violence and abuse. And especially during this time where, as many of you have read, domestic violence is on the rise because everyone's home. It really gave us an opportunity to do something good for the community while, we're not able to get out there and be with them in person. So we did some virtual book readings, which were a lot of fun, and they were centered around some national theme days that were that recognize really positive and encouraging topics, such as National Day of Encouragement, National Youth Confidence Day, and we were really excited to read these books that centered around those really important topics. And even for just a minute and few minutes to read to these families and really just kind of touch their hearts and provide some sort of meaningful way to reach out to them and bring smile and laughter to their faces. We also had some activities that we coincide with the book readings. So hopefully our goal was to really just provide a meaningful impact to these families and hopefully even longer lasting impact. So thank you. Thank you for the opportunity.
Congratulations, Michelle. Now it is my pleasure to introduce Colleen Dillaway, Director of Public Affairs, Cox, California.
Hi, everyone. What an exciting day to be a part of. I am thrilled to be announcing the third category winning team and also to represent Cox, a proud media sponsor of the Community Cup Charity Challenge. We are grateful to have the opportunity to partner with 10C to promote volunteerism in the communities we serve right here in Orange County and of course beyond. So without further ado, I will now announce the winning team in Category 3, Best Hands-On Project. And the winning team is Team Rooftop. Woohoo!
Is that us again?
Yeah, you're on the team.
That's why I was confused, because we sort of accidentally did two teams, but so we get to talk about Second Harvest. Are we talking about Second Harvest now?
Yes.
Okay, just making sure, Corey. Thanks for setting me straight last time. Well, I gotta say, this allows me to tell the story more. When in March, I gotta tell you, I just did my last live keynote in Minnesota. I flew home at the end of February, and all of a sudden the world shifted. And all of a sudden I was inside and I actually had a cold, and I was wondering if I had COVID, and I was wondering what was going on. And I was wondering, oh no, how do I lead in the moment? Because those things were stalled that we were doing that mattered to our people. And that's when Susan DeGrassi and Antis VP, the same Susan DeGrassi who's on the SoCal chapter's Red Cross, that we're holding blood drives. Before she talked about blood insecurity, she talked about food insecurity. And she knows about this because she's the one who introduced the topic to me years ago. We went to lunch with Heifer and Natural, where we were talking about real food insecurity in the world. And all of a sudden, Susan says, Charles, since the pandemic, there's 20% of Orange County that isn't being fed. And I thought, well, how's that true? So I reached out to my friend at Waste Not OC, Mike, what can we do? And he says, you got to go to go to Second Harvest Food Bank. And so I reached out to Second Harvest, said, what can we do? And Harold, who always has been such a gentler grabber, he says, you can deliver food. So we lined up our trucks and we started delivering food. And I got to tell you, this was really powerful because I didn't get it until that first day. I delivered to a private citizen. It's an older woman. She was probably 80 years old, and she insisted I carry this up and I bring it inside the house. We weren't supposed to bring it inside the house. I'm sorry, I broke protocol that day. She asked me to bring it inside the house. And when I did, she just thanked me, and she just kept thanking me. And as she was thanking me, she was saying, bless you, bless you, bless you. And I just started feeling lighter and lighter and lighter. And I walked away and I thought, wow, I want to do that again. But as I walked out the house, she said one more thing. And I turned around, and this is where I saw the other side of the pandemic. And she reached out a really squeezed out tube of Colgate toothpaste. And she said, can you get me some more toothpaste and some soap? And I think that's when I realized in that moment, like, wow, if we just ask, there's something we can do. And everything that we're doing, blood, wing lambs, California Love Drop, and this, it wasn't our idea. We just said, okay, I don't understand it, but I'm going to show up. And by showing up, I feel like we're relevant with our people. I feel like we're relevant in the community. And I feel like it gives us a good chance to survive as a company and keeping families safe and dry. So thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
It is now my pleasure to introduce Todd Harmonson, the senior editor at the Orange County Register.
Thank you very much, and congratulations to the winning team so far. Nobody told me I was going to have to follow Charles Antis on here, though. That's just not an enviable thing, but I'll try. It is my pleasure to be here to present the winning team in the category Most Warm and Fuzzy Project. It might not seem that we have a lot of opportunity to deal with the warm and fuzzy here at the Register during one of the craziest news years we've ever experienced. But we at the Orange County Register love a good community story about all that's being done, especially during these difficult times. And there's so much good happening in Orange County that we try to bring to our readers in our pages and on our website. So please check it out. The Register is proud to be a media sponsor of the Community Cup and support 1OC's mission to accelerate nonprofit success, especially during times like these where organizations are crucial to our community's well-being. And the winning team is Capital Cares, THTS.
All right, thank you so much. This is Stephen St. Dennis. Can you all see me and hear me?
Oh, can't see you, Stephen. We can hear you though.
Oh, okay. Well, I have the video started, I'm not sure, but let me just say, first of all, thank you. I mean, this is amazing. This is fabulous. Thank you to my team and Linda, Lindsay, Audrey, Simon, Sean. Am I missing anyone? I don't know, but we came together and we worked with a fabulous nonprofit, Thomas House. If you're not familiar, their mission is providing a safe, supportive environment and the resources necessary for homeless families with children to remain together while empowering them to become independent and self-sufficient. And in a short number of weeks, we worked closely with our partners at Thomas House, both Rhea Martinson, the development manager, and Natalie Julian, the executive director. And we were able to deliver a number of projects, and it was just a great experience. There was a fabulous movie night in the courtyard for all the children and families to watch. We developed a career development program. We helped improve their Wi-Fi situation at their complex, and not to mention a number of in-kind gifts that we worked closely with the Thomas House that were shipped to their complex for the family. So all things combined, it was just a really exciting opportunity, and we couldn't be more proud and more happy. And we have no celebration planned. So team, let's get offline and talk about how we'll celebrate. And again, it was really great working with the Thomas House, the fabulous nonprofit, and we couldn't be more proud. So thank you so much.
Congratulations, Steve and the team. Now, before we move on to our next category, I also want to mention that Stephen was responsible for recruiting and coordinating 8 Capital Group Charity Challenge teams. He not only led the winning team, but also worked diligently behind the scenes coordinating Capital Group's overall participation in the competition. Amazing work, Stephen. I'd now like to ask Ursula Walsh, Director of Volunteer Services at 1OC, to come up forward and announce the final winning team.
Hello, everyone, and thank you again for joining us on this 9/11 Day closing ceremonies. I'm so excited to be here. We were a little nervous in the beginning if this was really going to happen and how we would come together to make this work. But when I got a call early March from Kevin Mcarthur, who you heard from earlier, saying, we need 1OC to step up to be our emergency volunteer center. We need you to reach out to your partners, your resources, your contacts, your friends, your family, whoever you can, and keep these missions going for these nonprofits. We knew, again, our mission to accelerate nonprofit success has never meant more than at this time. And thank you to David Payne and his work to create this National Day of Service that we can continue for years and years to celebrate the amazing good that comes out of service and the amazing good that comes when we come together to help each other, you know, one by one, group by group, company by company, community by community, again, nation and our world. So again, thank you so much for being here. I have the honor of giving away the final category, and our final category is, let's see, most innovative. Okay, all right, so most innovative goes to, do I have a drum roll? Perfect. Team Child's Free.
Wow.
Is Kim on the line?
I'm here.
Hi, Kim.
Hi. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Wow. This is a program that's called Child's Free. And we were set up with Macy's to take 50 foster children shopping there for back to school items. Obviously, COVID threw a huge wrench into those plans. And we literally changed the whole program in 3 weeks. So now our shopping buddies, who are congregants from my synagogue, were paired up with buddies. We found out what exactly they needed, and we raised enough money to take the 50 kids, and each had $150 to spend. It was really more impactful this year because these kids, sorry, even though they're all home for, most of them are at home for learning, they still need these items. They still need new clothes. They still need new school supplies. So that was very exciting. We were able to then expand our program. And now with the $1,000, we're going to be able to take 5 more kids than we had planned. These are kids from the Samueli Academy. They are emancipating out of the foster care program. And me and my team of 10 are going to help them move into their dormitories. And almost like, when any of you have college kids, if you did it, you moved your kid in, you buy him a desk lamp and a cute comforter, a couple of throw pillows, some frames. And that's what we're going to be able to help the kids do when we move them in finally, hopefully in the next couple of months. So thank you really so much for this honor.
And now I'd like to introduce to you all Brian Cooper, a retirement plan services representative with Capital Group. Brian is with us today representing Capital Group, of course, but also not only as a sponsor of the Community Cup, but as the chair of our task force. Brian has been an amazing volunteer for us, and just a spirit of hope and a challenge to all of you to get involved. And really it was because of him that this whole process happened. So again, Brian, take it away.
Brian, we think you might be muted.
Is that better? There we are. Sorry.
Oh, there we are. Yay!
Sorry. Thank you. And thank you to everyone who participated in this year's 9/11 Day of Service campaign and Community Cup. This is Capital's second year sponsoring the Community Cup with 10C, and we couldn't be happier with the outcome. This year's Cup has certainly brought its challenges due to the pandemic. And although we were not outside playing games like we were last year, there certainly was no lack of friendly competition and goodwill amongst the participants. I think I speak on behalf of all the competitors that it feels good to be out in our community helping during these unprecedented times. Capital Group worked with 10C to think outside the box to find unique ways for local companies to volunteer and help out their communities. It's been an honor to be a part of the 9/11 Day of Service campaign and Community Cup Charity Challenge. And it's great to see so many wonderful people come together virtually and create such amazing projects. Now here are the highlights from the 9/11 Day of Service campaign and Community Cup Charity Challenge. There were 63 service projects with 57 nonprofits served. We had 30 companies participate and a total of 871 people volunteer this year. 4,848 hours were the total number of hours volunteered, and the total dollar value of those volunteer hours came to $152,712. The self-reported total in-kind donation to nonprofits from Charity Challenge teams is $128,107. And the self-reported total cash donation to nonprofits from Charity Challenge teams is $110,295 for a total overall impact of an astonishing $391,114. Wow. Really good job to everyone who participated in this year's event. It really was a tremendous effort from everyone. Now I'm going to hand it back to Richard and Patty to thank all the wonderful people who played a huge role in making the 9/11 Day of Service campaign and Community Cup Charity Challenge a phenomenal success.
Thank you, Brian. First, I'd like to thank all the Community Cup Task Force members who participated: Jennifer Ames, John Mitchell, Netta Lena, James Empfinger, Cheryl Sartonowitz, Susanna Johnston, and special thanks to Brian Cooper for serving as chair of the task force. Thank you to our judging panel volunteers and 1OC volunteers, Jesse Galvez, who supported Carolyn with the Community Cup social media and today during this live stream, and Brian Mung, who managed the Community Cup and 9/11 web pages.
A special thanks to John Mitchell, who not only served in the Community Cup Task Force, but he captained one of Capital Group's teams, served as a member for another Capital Group team, and created the graphic art for all of the campaign ads, as well as the forms that were used in the judging process. Pretty amazing work. Thank you, John. And to all of you that volunteered your time and had teams participate. Without our amazing volunteers, we could not continue to do the work in the community, and we could not continue to accelerate nonprofit success in the ways that we are doing.
Thank you to 1OC staff, Zidlana Luna and Carolyn Spivak for managing these programs, Kevin Pappas for his technical support for this presentation, and to Ursula Walsh for her support and leadership during the entire campaign. Thank you to our Community Cup sponsors, starting with Capital Group, our presenting sponsor, who stuck with us and pivoted from what the Community Cup was in 2019 and transformed it into something special in 2020. Thank you to Edwards Life Sciences, our nurturing spirit sponsor. Thank you to our media sponsors, Cox and the Orange County Register. And thank you to our caring spirit sponsors, Cyber Scout. Without our generous sponsors, we would not have been able to coordinate this campaign, which drove individuals, families, company employees to volunteer and support our Orange County community. I now want to introduce 1OC's CEO, Tim Stroud, and Volunteer Service Coordinator, Zidlana Luna, to make their closing remarks.
We're doing some social distancing here at 1OC. So, wow, incredible. I'm really energized. Hope you are too. So as much as we were talking about the winning teams today, you're all winners. You're all winners because think about what we're doing in our community right now. Our nonprofits need us now more than ever to help with these really growing issues in our community. And think about this. We're actually, you are volunteering and finding new ways to volunteer and give back to nonprofits that were really never thought of before, or we've never really explored that. So it really took your courage, your innovation, your creativity to really, and an openness actually, to make this happen. And so I really want to thank each and every one of you. I think we should give everyone a round of applause for all the work you did. And those that you know 1OC and what we're about, we're now looking at, it's not over. There's more opportunity to continue to give back. And we have our season of giving, which is right around the corner. And our season of giving is during the holiday season of November and December. And the whole point of that is you now have the next couple of months to think about how our nonprofits can even utilize your support to even greater levels to, again, help Orange County. A couple ways to do that. One way is to volunteer, and Sitlala's going to talk about that in a minute. The second is, for those of you who haven't heard about this before, we have something called giving cards. And some of you are aware with those. They're charitable giving cards. It's an opportunity for you individually or your companies to come together and actually instead of think of the other types of giving cards that are out there, gift cards. So think of a gift card, but instead of giving it for a product, but it goes back, that giving card goes back to a nonprofit that they can leverage those dollars to help meet their mission. And so we're going to be launching our giving card campaign starting today with our season of giving. So you're going to hear more about that. So it's a way to not only provide opportunities to volunteer and give back, it's also a way to give back to the community, to our nonprofits, so they can better serve Orange County. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Sitlali on our team, Sitlali Luna, who we've been working together to talk a little bit about the season of giving that's upcoming.
Thank you, Tim. So as you mentioned, we are heading into the holiday season, and it's the perfect time to start thinking of what you can do to give back during the months of November and December. So the season of giving is really just about supporting our local nonprofits, especially right now as they're helping to feed our community, as well as giving clothing and supplies to our families and extra love to seniors who are very isolated and alone right now. And we really need your support. So starting next week, we'll be working with nonprofits to get started on planning their service projects. So as Tim mentioned, that will include, of course, on-site projects that you can safely do with those safety measures, as well as virtual toolkits, which are projects that you can safely do at home. And of course, we like to see $100,000 in charitable giving card funds given back to our community. And we really can't do that without you. So please make sure that you go to our website just to stay in the loop and see what you can do to help right now. And on behalf of all of us at 1OC, thank you for joining us, and we hope to see you stay connected for Season of Giving. Thank you.
Go ahead. So thanks again, Sitlali, for that information. You'll hear more about the season of giving, and it's going to, a lot of that information will be posted on our website. You will see that this week. So on behalf of 1OC, and we want to thank you not just for joining us today, for actually being innovators, of really stepping outside your comfort zones to really give back to your community through volunteering. Volunteering is going to be critical for the long road of recovery for our pandemic. And we need you individually, collectively, companies. We need everyone to come together to ensure that we can provide the necessary infrastructure of volunteers to help our nonprofits. So with that, we hope you take care of yourselves, stay connected, and we'll see you soon. Thank you.